Go ahead, Gary.
Hillary Clinton personally, set aside everybody else, but she personally has gotten away with endless things for decades and decades, and that's why she's in our face about it. She's gotten away with so much. Why wouldn't she go for broke?
Yep.
Yep, you're right about that, Mr. Gary. Well, we appreciate you getting up with us this morning, calling, and we'll be talking to you soon. Call back next week. We're going to just try to keep the show moving. We got a couple of more things on the agenda. We're going to get to all right, brother. We're going to get to our friend here, Mr. Mike here in Ann Arbor. And let's see here. He was. I think Mike was at the Trump rally last night. Were you out of town at the rally, Mike?
No, but I've got an awful lot of friends in Chicago, and I can tell you something. The only thing those communist idiots did was pick up more votes for Trump. I can tell you something right now. I saw the video this morning on the NBC Morning News, and I can tell you one thing. The crowd, the Black Lives Matter crowd, the Latino La Raza crowd was there. And of all the places for Donald Trump to go right in the heart of the lion's den into the home of the U.S. Communist Party, Chicago.
That's right.
As far as I'm concerned, I can tell you something right now. They could nuke Chicago, and I don't think we'd miss it. Yeah. Chicago has given us Barack Obama. It's given us Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
And frankly, it's a hellhole. But I can tell you one thing. I did talk to a couple of friends of mine who live in Chicago, and they said this was pre-planned. This was pre-planned. And all I can say to the people that were at the rally to disrupt it, to make a mess of it, all you people did was just put another 5 or 6% of the people into Trump's pocket, and that keep doing it, because we're fighting back. We're not going to take it anymore. You've had your way, and something I don't know if you guys have mentioned this or not, but Obama this past week denied racially dividing this country.
Yeah.
Absolutely, he did.
Yeah.
Did you see the size of his nose? Suddenly, his ears are like the Uniroyal tires on I-94. His nose right now is like the Ambassador Bridge.
Yeah. What the question was, they just asked him, some of your policies has it been you that has given rise to Donald Trump?
Oh no, not me.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you something. He needs the Republican Party because he needs somebody to blame for everything that's went wrong in his administration. It's not that the Republican Party has just opposed him. No, it's not that at all. He don't want to work with him at all. Absolutely.
Exactly right.
But as soon as something happened and it's a calamity, they are to blame.
Yeah.
They are to blame.
Can I say something? One last thing. I can assure you that there is a Republican establishment hand in that riot last night.
Yeah.
There has to be.
Yes.
They are so damned and determined to stop Trump.
Yeah, I'm with you right there, 100%.
Even cause a riot.
You wouldn't put it past him, huh?
But you know what, Mike? You were right when you began by saying that they are putting points in Trump's favor. Yeah. They are giving Trump more momentum. So let him go at it. Yeah. That's what this primary process is all about.
And you can tell.
I have seen so many wolves have their sheepskin removed in this primary than I've ever seen before, and I'm happy for it.
Well,
go ahead. One last thing. I can tell you something right now. Another group that is very scared of Donald Trump are the drug gangs down in Mexico, because I mentioned this on someone's show earlier. There's a great show on Sunday mornings at 10 o'clock. I don't know if a lot of you can get it or not. It's out of Toledo on Channel 24. It's Cheryl Atkinson's Full Measure. Mm-hmm. She did a thing on the border last week for 15 minutes that showed exactly how porous our border is, showing 13 and 12-year-old kids carrying 100-kilo packs of drugs across our border.
Oh, boy.
And this is what they are afraid of. This would stop the drug trade. This would stop illegal immigration, and this would stop the nonsense that's going on in our society. And I can tell you something. They showed a bunch of young girls that are about 250 pounds locking their arms like a human chain last night in Chicago. Yeah. Those girls better get on a treadmill instead of locking hands. Have a good one, guys.
Thank you.
Well, speaking of that border, El Chapo got through the border a couple of times while he was on the run.
Yeah.
And they were looking for him all over the world, and he can get into this country and out whenever he wants to.
What does that make you think about our the people who are in office to protect us.
Yeah.
That is their primary goal.
Yeah.
That is their oath of office, is to protect the people of the United States of America. And we are seeing absolute anarchy coming to America. We can't let it happen.
Yeah. Well, again, they have an agenda. They have an agenda to keep grinding. It's about grinding down America. Folks, I'm sorry I have to tell you that, but it is. I mean, we see that it's just a grinding and grinding down. All right, we're going to go to Jimmy from Manchester. Good morning, Jimmy from Manchester. How you doing?
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, how you doing?
Yeah, this riot last night and the Benghazi thing are really similar in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
The Benghazi attack, it's ridiculous to believe that was spontaneous. They had brought in mortars and set them up. They had already mapped out their targets. They brought in their protesters, and when the mortars began to fall, the protesters became the infantry. Mechanized infantry came up, fired suppressive fire for them. This was an absolute guerrilla warfare attack, and that's what's going on with some of these groups. They're all bought and paid for by Soros.
Just without the weaponry. Yeah, you're right. This is guerrilla warfare. They just don't have the guns, but absolutely it is guerrilla intimidation. You're right. Absolutely.
Well, it's not a matter that they don't have the guns. It's that they know that we have guns.
Yeah.
And that is the only thing that is protecting America at this point is the Second Amendment.
Absolutely. That's why, they did have police officers there. He didn't just have his security team there. They had to have actual police officers on the premises there to control that crowd. Yes,
that's a very good analogy that you made, Jimmy. I appreciate that. It really is true. We are seeing a worldwide effort to take down Western civilization itself.
And it really is.
And the people that wrote the map for how to take down Western civilization came from Chicago. Carroll Quigley, Bill Ayers, what's his name?
Saul Alinsky.
Saul Alinsky. Yeah, that's the heartbeat of it right there.
That is the heartbeat of it, and that's why they rejected him there, because that is the heartbeat of it there. I'm sorry, we're going to let you say to give us the last word, Jimmy.
Oh, okay. I'm just looking at this country and worrying about a civil war. Rush Limbaugh says that if they try to steal the convention, it'll cause a civil war. So we're one spark away from this being a very, very ugly thing.
And that's what they're hoping. The administration is hoping that they're hoping that they can keep this momentum going to November. It may be a little hard. But absolutely, they're working on it. And behind the scenes, Barack Hussein Obama, just because his name is not in the news right now, he's still working on this little crafty, little evil stuff right now.
I have to tell you, though, I have great faith in America. The American citizen is strong and resolute, and the silent majority is going to continue to make America great again. I mean, Donald Trump's, his logo, that's all great, fine and well, but it's the people who are going to continue to make this a great country.
I had your optimism, but man, this is it. When the Republican Party joins in with those idiots on the Democrat side to take down somebody that's doing what they said that they wanted.
Yes.
Somebody that could cross the
that's right
the political lines.
Thank you for calling, Jimmy,
and get support.
That's why I say I'm so glad that the sheepskin
you know what? I want to play something.
Off.
I want you to hear something. That this is how sinister this guy Bernie Sanders. Can you play 233 for me, Derek? 233.
Short up. No, I do not support fracking. And by the
listen to that
crowd.
By the way, Anderson, I'm glad you raised the issue of climate change, because media doesn't talk enough about what the scientists are telling us, and that is if we don't get our act together, the planet that we're going to leave our children may not be healthy and habitable. I have introduced the most comprehensive climate change legislation in the history of the Senate, which, among other things, calls for a tax on carbon, massive investments in energy efficiency, wind, solar, and other sustainable energy. Senator, this is a crisis we have got to deal with now.
Senator Sanders, though.
Thank you.
Did he also say that there, in that legislation, there are sanctions against you and me if we say something about the fact that we don't believe in man-made climate change?
Are you saying you're a climate denier?
Yes. And if that clown gets in there, I'll be doing time in Sing Sing somewhere.
Well, I'm just glad that the climate is changing to spring, because I'm looking forward to spring.
It is changing to spring.
Yeah.
And you did you hear him? He said that they want to come up with massive taxes. Not taxes, massive taxes. Folks, that's raising your light bill, your gas bill, all your bills. Here it's going to cost us more money. They 1 minute the president want to say that we need higher gas prices so that people can drive electric cars. Then on the other side, he want to take credit for us having low gas prices.
Yeah.
Which is it?
Yeah, and here's the thing: if you disagree with it, they're going to make you into a racist because you want the status quo. You want to follow what the founding fathers put in to help you and me as individuals, that we should be able to disagree.
So they want to make the climate racism. Huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They will figure out a way to make it race. Oh, well, how?
I'm going to tell you, when they come with that stuff, we just have to reject that right there. Folks, I want to thank you for joining the Abolitionist Roundtable this morning. I want to leave you with a quote from a great American, Charles McCullough. He said, "There's only three things important: God, family, and country, and vote out every Democrat you can find." Mayor?
Thank you so much. Ronald Reagan said government's first duty is to protect the people, not run their lives.
You did America proud last week. Continue the roundtable discussions by mailing correspondence to Art of Michigan, Post Office Box 135, Garden City, Michigan, 48135.
Or follow Phil, Del, and Janice at artofmichigan.com. You can also send emails to artofmichigan@hotmail.com. And most of all, continue to listen every Saturday and tell a friend.